We've walked through sunshine, we stood in rain. We've danced in joy and we've wept through pain. Through every valley, through every climb, a love eternal stands the test of time. Faith and forever love, built on grace sent from above. Through storms that shake, through skies that clear, His hand has held us year by year.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing?
On this hot but Monday.
On this incredible Monday that we are in the land of the living, as my mother used to say.
That part. Oh my gosh. If y'all did not go to St. Thomas with us last week, you missed it. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Matter of fact, we'll have some pictures coming up.
There are already some pictures.
So
day one is out. So I showed what we did on day one, the steel drums and just kind of some of the house. And then I just posted a little bit of day two because we had amazing massages by Rejuvenate.
Yeah, they was hour-long massages, bro. I mean, they was mashing on my back, elbowing me, and then
she was like, "Please relax."
Man, for an hour, fellas, and I was able to get through it though.
Yeah, you didn't die.
But wow. But I tell you what, my wife says pictures of the house, bruh. This wasn't no house. This was a villa,
a baby mansion.
Yeah, I don't even think it was a baby mansion. I mean, it had two master bedrooms, primary bedrooms with full en suites, plus every other room. All the other rooms had en suites, plus a kitchen, a stove that was just laid. You know, the one that's got the the internet hooked to it, and you can check your email while you're cooking. I mean, it was laid out. Had a Can-Am in the garage.
They didn't let us drive it though.
They didn't let us drive it, but we still looked at it though. But it was an amazing. I'm telling you, if you're rolling like that, bro, you're rolling right, cause it was that kind of nice infinity pool hanging off. You can look at the pictures and see what's up with it. But it was wonderful. We had opportunity to relax.
But obviously you're back.
Obviously I'm back.
All right, so again, we had an amazing time and we've been gone for a week. So now his phone will not stop ringing because everybody and their dog is like, okay, you're back now. So anyway, so today we are going to finish up what we started in March. So we talked about speak, we talked about listen, we talked about repair, and today we're going to talk about reset. So reset, don't carry this month into the next month. Don't carry this conversation into the next conversation. Communication under construction is what we're looking at for the month of March. And so we've been talking through this series, and we're going to close it again, as I said, with reset, because after you've been talking, you've been listening, you've been preparing and repairing your relationship, you've got to decide what you're talking about and what you're going to take with you and what you're going to leave. Because here's the thing, everything doesn't need to go with you. Now, let's think about this. We just flipped over into spring. And I don't know about you, but when I went through, we were getting ready to get ready for this vacation, and I started pulling out spring clothes, of course, because it was warm in St. Thomas, started pulling out spring clothes. There were some clothes that I realized could not go with me. They don't fit anymore. They don't work anymore. They're just not the style that I want to do going into the season. And so I think that's the same thing we have to look at about things that have happened in our marriage. Most of us don't really truly have communication problems. We have carryover problems. We've been bringing things in, holding things over, keeping things way longer than what they needed to be kept, and rehearsing over and over and over again things that should have died. We should have thrown them away. We should have said, hey, that happened, but we're moving forward. Okay, so old arguments, old attitudes, old habits, and you're trying to build something new on top of something that you've never cleared out. So, you know, again, as we are moving into the spring season, it's time to clear out. It's time to clear out the closet. What are things that need to go to the Goodwill, or that need to go to the trash, because they, you know, it really is trash. It's not, you know, often we say it's one person's trash is another person's treasure. Some of that stuff is just trash. Okay. And we just need to get rid of it. And we cannot build a good solid foundation on top of something that is not solid. Okay. Some of us are still reacting to something that we never resolved, and it shows up in today's conversation. So we didn't resolve the issue of you leaving up the toilet seat and me falling into the water. And now we're having an argument about something that really doesn't have anything to do with what we're arguing about. It really has to do with the fact that I felt disrespected back then. And so some of us, we really, really need to look at, you know, as we're cleaning out that closet, as we're cleaning out, you know, getting rid of those things that no longer fit, getting rid of those things that no longer are for the season. How do we get rid of those things and then come back and have conversations and real practical moving forward with where we are today?
You know, I'm getting a little concerned because you bring up that falling into the toilet.
I haven't fell in the toilet in a long time, but it's just
Okay. I was just trying to figure it out now. Hold on, wait a minute now. Okay, but so you just using it as
I use it as an example.
as an
I didn't say I
example.
fell in the toilet
Okay.
anytime recently.
Well, we just need to clear that. Y'all needed some clarification. I needed some clarification. So we just needed some
I
clarification.
didn't say I fell in the toilet anytime recently.
Okay, so since now we
I
know,
have, but I haven't. It hasn't been new.
wow. Really? Well, hey, yeah. So, but some of that stuff drags on, and you drag it into what you're trying to accomplish. I think my wife mentioned that we need to clear some of the emotional clutter, and because emotional clutter will block connection every time, right? As a matter of fact, it will really shut down the phone lines, the connectivity altogether, because most of the time you can't even see past whatever the infringement was. And so you find and figure out ways how to roll the infringement into today's problem or today's issue, when really it ain't got jack to do with it. It got jack to do with it, right? So you got to learn how to get the emotional clutter out of the picture so that we can move forward.
Yeah, and really asking that question: what are we still carrying? What do we not need? What do we still need? You know, it again. I mean, I go back to that closet situation, because there are those times when you have to go, what needs to be donated, what needs to be thrown away, what needs to just, you know, what can we keep? And so that really needs to be the conversations that we're having. What do we need to get rid of? What do we need to really have some conversation around and really figure out? And then what's really working really well right now in our relationship?
And sometimes, let me add, and sometimes you need extra help in getting rid of the clutter,
Mm-hmm.
because you'll want to hold on to something for sentimental value. All of us right now got something that we done held on to for sentimental value. It's broken, it's tore up, it don't work no more. You just holding on to it, and you really know it needs to be thrown away.
Or let's
Right.
go one step even further. You have those things that you're holding on to that you said, girl, you know, I'm going to get back down to this size and I'm going to wear this. No, you're not. Throw it away. Get rid of it. Even if you get back down to that size, you're not going to want that stuff anymore. Just get rid of it. Eliminate it out of your closet. I have a whole thing that I'm about to get rid of right now. There's a whole section of my closet that I have pulled together that is all getting ready to go in bags. It's about to go. There's just some things that I don't want to take into this next season. My body at 55 is not my body at 45. And so I'm not going to try to fight it. I'm going to deal with what it is. I'm going to call a spade, and I'm getting rid of the stuff that no longer fits.
Well, I think I can drop it. I'm telling you,
Reset.
I'm only a few pounds away anyway. All I need is to miss a couple good meals, do about 15 more push-ups, and then I'll be right back
That's the
in
problem
in,
right
in
there.
fighting weight. I'll be right back in contenders weight. All right. But reset is not just about what you release. It's about what you want, what you recommit to. You clear that up. Reset is not about just what you release, but if you're releasing something, what are you recommitting to? And that's critical because whatever you're recommitting to, once you move the garbage out of the way, you should be able to recommit to it full steam ahead and ready to roll.
Yeah. Excuse me. So when we think about,
You are young in the day,
I
gal.
know I am, and I don't know why, because I kind of slept in a little bit. So when we think about recommit, we want to recommit to respect, recommit to communication, and recommit to showing up differently. If what we're doing is not working, I know I got you yawning now
There
too.
you go. See that?
It's contagious. So if what we're doing is not working, what are we going to do about it? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting to get a different result.
Mhm.
So if what I'm doing, if how we're communicating is not working,
Mhm.
if me saying whatever it is that I'm saying is not getting through to my partner, then I've got to do it a different way. Every one of us who have had kids know that you can say something to them and then you can say, okay, well, that didn't work, so let me repackage it and serve it out to them a different way.
Mhm.
The different way often works. Sometimes it just takes a different person saying it to them.
Right.
So when we think about showing up differently, it may mean that I'm not yelling and screaming and cussing and fussing. It may mean that I'm coming in a different, totally different way, or that I use a different approach about it.
Mm-hmm. So that what I'm trying to communicate, we can communicate or we can understand, and then we can build from there. You don't wait till everything feels right, ladies and gentlemen. You choose. We're starting fresh from here, and please understand that when you're starting fresh, it will not feel wonderful all the time. I worked out this morning. I hadn't worked out in a couple weeks, and I wasn't feeling that well. To be honest with you, feeling a little under the weather. And after my workout, it seemed like my body responded and felt better. But when you first start something, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to cause you some pain. It's going to hurt in some ways that you didn't think it should hurt. But you have to be committed to going through the process, right? And when you get through the process on the other side, you'll discover that it was well worth the little bit of trouble that you had to deal with in the beginning to get further down the road. So please don't wait until you think everything feels right, because guess what? Got some bad news for you, baby. It's never going to feel right all the time. There's always going to be something that's a little bit off. You know what I'm saying? Just something that's just a little bit off kilter. But you still got to make a decision that we're choosing to drop the anchor and start here. When we were in St. Thomas, we were on the boat. Shout out to Captain Patrick, who navigated the waters with us very well. But when he dropped the anchor, matter of fact, the water was a little bit rough, so he dropped 3 anchors, one in the stern, one in the bow. You already know I knew them terms.
Oh!
Yeah. One in the stern, one in the bow. And so the boat was anchored on both sides. Even with being anchored on both sides, it still had about 10 feet of movement side to side. But it wasn't going to go nowhere because it was anchored. So even when you anchor in and it doesn't feel 100% right, understand that it's going to have a little bit of flex, a little bit of wiggle room. But just make sure that you know in the end, it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. When we think about that reset, it is truly a decision. It's not a feeling, because, our feelings are fickle. Mm-hmm. One day I feel good, the next day I don't. My emotions can be whatever they are. But that reset has to be a decision. Mm-hmm. How do we purposefully, intentionally start fresh and not pull back in stuff from past arguments, past disagreements? Those are not valid, and they don't really help to solve and to move us forward. And so How do I stay intentional? How do I really stay in the moment of this is where we are, this is what we need to do, not you always blah blah blah, but what is happening right now?
Mhm.
I thought you were going to say something.
I was, but I decided to let the moment pass.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our scripture is Isaiah 43:18-19. Familiar to all of us. Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. I think that the additional text that says, have you not seen it? Does it not show? But forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. So, but in order to forget, you have to be able to release. So you got to release. And notice what it says after that. It says, don't dwell on the past. Why? Because if you go back and dwell on it, you're never really releasing it. You're letting it go, but you're going back and picking it up.
Yeah.
Letting it go, going back and picking it up. But he says, listen, forget the former things. Don't dwell on the past, because why? I'm doing a new thing. And if your eyes are not sharp or your perception is not sharp, you'll miss the new because you dedicated to the old.
Ooh, that's good.
Real good. You'll miss the new because you're so dedicated to the old, until you want to hold on to it.
That's good.
So he says you got to release it. Why? Because understand that God is always about new things and newness.
Yeah. So when we're looking at where we want to go and how we want to get there, we got to look at what is God doing? What is God releasing? What are the new things that are happening in our lives? And we should be looking for those. So our love for work for this week is to, reset conversation. So take the time this week and ask, what do I need to let go of first? Because it's me first. What do I need to let go of? And then what do we need to let go of? What do we need to forgive for real this time? And I say for real this time because sometimes we'll say, oh, I forgive you. But then as soon as something pushes a button, we go right back and pull it up, which means I didn't really forgive you. I just put it in a box, put a bow on it, and set it on the shelf. Because it's that Jack in the Box. As soon as it gets to turning, it's going to pop out. So that's how I know I didn't really forgive you for that. And I really didn't get past it because it always keeps popping back up. What are you committed to doing differently? Are we committed to when I get hot and bothered, and I don't mean in a good way, but I mean when I'm hot because things are not going well, do I if my immediate reaction was to rant and rave and cuss, then what am I going to do differently? Am I going to cool off and then set a time for us to have a conversation? What am I going to do? If my normal reaction is to run, so I get mad, you push my buttons, then I get in my car and I go away and I'm at the club or I'm at my friends or I'm wherever I'm at, all day and half the night. Is that really solving the problem? Okay. So what am I going to do differently? How am I going to mature how I respond to how I used to respond? What does a fresh start look like for us? What does it look like for us to begin again anew? The Bible talks about the potter and the wheel and the ideal that he could make that vessel again anew. So it's the same clay, but it's not the same vessel. And so we have the same marriage, but it doesn't have to look the same. And so what are we going to do?
Right. So please recognize, my sentences are short today. Listen, if March helped you clean up how you communicate, then as we step into April, we're going to begin to take you deeper, right? Because next month we're going to be talking about something a lot of couples are missing, and that is connecting.
What?
Yeah, connecting the dots, connecting together in any and every way that you can imagine. Yeah, this grown folk business. This grown folk business. In any and every way that you can imagine, we need to be connecting. We need to connect mentally, we need to connect physically. If you're married, you should be connected spiritually anyway,
Mhm.
because the Bible says the two become one flesh.
Yeah.
So then, do we need to connect in our thoughts, in our finances, all of these things? We're going to dive deep into the waters about being connected.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go into the series called, what is it going to be called?
It's reconnecting.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about reconnecting, pursuing each other again, real intimacy, and how to cover your marriage. So there is some things that we really need to do in this time of just really looking at how do we reconnect in our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if y'all are a team, then how do I cover my spouse?
Mm-hmm.
How do I pray for them? How do I make sure that everything is okay?
Because at the end of the day, we can talk all day long. We can talk about what we're going to do, how we think we're going to do it, how we're going to step in, and how wonderful it's going to be when it's done. But until you execute, until you do something, nothing gets done.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we want to just shift you from just talking about an old happy day to making today the best day of your life. And that's going to require some effort. That's going to require you diving in with both feet. We were out there, what ocean was that? I don't know. The St. Thomas Ocean. We were out there.
It was just some blue water.
And people were getting in the water, and we're jumping off the boat. A couple people eased down into the water. And I told them, I said, look, if I'm going in the water, I'm just finna get in the water. I don't have time to go through the shock of being cold at my ankles, cold at my knees, cold at my thighs, cold at my chest. I'm not doing all that stuff. I'm gonna just get in the water, get it over with, and move on down the road. So I walked to the edge of the boat and just jumped right in. And to be honest with you, it really wasn't that cold.
It really wasn't that bad.
When I hit the water and came up, I was good to go. What we want you to do is recognize that in this series, you need to jump all in.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And making sure that you are connected, because if you're not connected, something will still be missing in your relationship. There is a point where I'm not saying that you need to be able to finish each other's sentences, but you should kind of know where each other are going. There is a piece in which I'm not saying that, it's, you got spidey senses with each other. What was it? Wonder Twins activate?
One twin power. Yeah.
But there should be that piece in which y'all are connected enough that you kind of know where you're going. You shouldn't be in a space where, you are totally blindsided by something because the other person is way, way, way in another field.
Mm-hmm.
That means that the connection is missing.
Everything shouldn't catch you by surprise, as Gomer Powell used to say. Some of y'all that went straight over your head, you're like, Gomer, who? All right, but yeah,
Mayberry was a fun place.
Yeah, was that Mayberry? Or was
it was Mayberry.
Everything.
Oh no, Gomer Pyle was on MASH.
No, it wasn't MASH. Gomer
Gomer
Pyle.
Pyle was in.
He wasn't on MASH. Trust me on that.
He
Gomer
was
Pyle
in
was on Leave It to Beaver. Leave It to Beaver.
He was on Mayberry.
Mayberry. Maybe
yes,
it was on
it was Mayberry.
Yeah,
he was the cop.
Yeah, well, he's the deputy.
Yeah. Well.
All right. So, okay.
I was right.
All right, you was right. So in our communication,
and then you made me think I was wrong.
And then I talked you out of being right. So, but hey, like we say, ladies and gentlemen, this month we're going to walk through speak, listen, repair, reset.
So that's what we did for March.
Reset.
That's what we did March.
That was March.
And so now, after we've done that, after we've done speak, listen, repair, reset, that was your communication toolkit. Don't carry what's broken into what's supposed to bless you. Remember that speaking, having those conversations, having good listening, repairing anything, going back. So when I'm listening, you're speaking, I'm listening, and I'm saying, no, that's not what I said. Or, yeah, that is what I said, but I didn't mean it in that way. Okay, so we're speaking, we're listening, we're repairing anything that maybe is miscommunicated so that we can reset and be ready to move into our place of being connected. I cannot be connected if there's miscommunication. Does that make sense? If I don't have all of those, if I don't feel like you are listening to me and we understand each other, then it's hard to connect. Okay, so that communication toolkit is there. Speak, listen, repair, reset. Don't carry. If it's broken, don't carry it into this next season. We are going into a space where we've got to make sure. This is Holy Week. We're leading up to Easter on Sunday. And it's a great time to really think about the things that were broken for us so that we could live a better life, so that we could live new, so that we could be regenerated. And that's the same thing that has to happen in our marriage. Those things that are broken, those things that are not working the way they should be, we need to put them under the blood so that they can be reset and repaired.
And by the time you get through with all of that, well, this is kind of tied into March, though. Still, reset your habits, reset your mindset, and then of course reset your marriage. So let's roll the tape and say that again. Reset your mind, reset your habits, and the benefit and the results of that work will help to reset your marriage and hopefully ignite a passion within the two of you that carries you into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
All right. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun. We had a great time in St. Thomas. I can't talk about it enough. Just hanging out, going to the beach, trying exotic food, all that kind of stuff. And the food was on point.
Yep.
I mean, food was on point. So doing all of that and just enjoying each other's company. And believe it or not, there was good conversation. There was strong conversation, but there was no teary-eyed conversation, right? Nobody walked away boo-hooing, oh my God. So we had a good time sharing in St. Thomas, and we're looking forward to the next trip. But until then, please remember to keep building your relationship with faith,
fun,
and forever love.
Doggy style.
Doggy style.
See ya.
Thank you for watching, and make sure that you join us on YouTube and our webpage, Marriage Encounters with Bill and Michelle at Weebly.com. And